My name is Camila Torres. I'm 30 years old. Up until that night, I believed I knew what stability felt like. 3 years with the same man, 1 year living together. We weren't perfect, but we were steady, or at least that's what I thought. I was sitting at my desk at work when my phone buzzed. The message shattered everything. Thomas, 29. Camila, I think we need a break. I need space to figure out what I want. No contact for at least a month. Please respect this boundary. I stared at the words until they blurred. A break. 30 days of silence. Just like that. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. Anything I typed felt either too small or too desperate. Finally, I sent the only thing that fit. Me. Okay, if that's what you need. The reply came instantly, smug almost. Thomas, that's it? You're not going to fight for us? My pulse hammered. You literally just told me not to contact you, I wrote back. Thomas, I expected more emotion from you. This is why we need a break. I dropped my phone onto the desk and leaned back, staring at the ceiling tiles like they might hold answers. Was this a test, a trap, or just an excuse? That evening, the truth was waiting before I even unlocked the door. His side of the closet, empty, drawers bare. Even his toothbrush was gone. On the kitchen counter, a single sheet of paper. I need to find myself. Don't contact me. This is for both of us. Dramatic, theatrical, cowardly. The apartment felt hollow, echoing with absence. My reflection in the dark window didn't even look like me. Slumped shoulders, lifeless eyes, disbelief carved into my mouth. That first night, I cried until morning, but by the second night, grief curdled into anger. Because the signs had been there. 2 weeks earlier, Thomas had gone to his high school reunion. He came back buzzing, glued to his phone, fingers flying like he was hiding something. When I asked, he shrugged, old friends. When I teased, anyone I should be jealous of? He kissed my forehead. Don't be ridiculous. But something had shifted in his eyes, guarded, distant, and now this conveniently timed break. For 3 days, I honored his request. No texts, no calls, not even a glance at his Instagram stories. I respected his boundary more than he had ever respected me. On day 4, a notification popped up. Against my better judgment, I opened it. His story, Thomas at a wine bar, glass raised. Across from him, her, Chloe, his high school flame. The same girl from the reunion photos. The caption, reconnecting with old friends. Friends, right. My hands shook as I set my phone face down. He wanted silence, but he was already filling it with her. Day 7 brought audacity I didn't think possible. Another notification. He had tagged me. A photo of us from my cousin's wedding 6 months ago. His caption, missing this one. #second chances. The comments flooded in. You two were perfect. Don't give up. Get back together. I sat frozen, scrolling through the attention he was fishing for. Then my phone lit up, his name, call after call. By the time I stopped counting, 17 missed calls, voicemails stacked one after another, his voice swinging from pleading to furious to panicked. Camila, pick up. Who's that guy in your new profile picture? You moved on already? It's been a week. You're doing this to hurt me, aren't you? We're on a break, not broken up. The irony cut like glass. He demanded no contact. He walked out. And now, because I wasn't collapsing on command, he was unraveling. That night, I sent one message back. I thought we agreed on no contact for a month. Please respect this boundary. His exact words, spitting his poison back at him. Seconds later, my phone rang again. I let it go to voicemail. His voice cracked this time, stripped of anger. Camila, Don't do this. Please don't throw us away. But he was wrong. I wasn't throwing us away. He had tossed us aside the moment he guarded his phone, the moment he walked out with a suitcase, the moment he ran straight into someone else's arms. All I was doing was letting it burn. The days stretched long and heavy, but underneath the silence, something unexpected stirred: relief. For the first time in years, I wasn't waiting for the door to unlock at midnight. I wasn't decoding excuses or second-guessing glances at his phone. The quiet hurt, but it was honest, and honesty was worth more than every promise Thomas had ever made. The silence didn't last, though. By the end of week 1, his no-contact rule had become a joke. Not because I broke it, but because he did. Stories of him at the gym, shirtless, flexing, a caption: "Healing means focusing on yourself." Then Chloe again, at a coffee shop this time, his arm draped casually over her chair. Some things never change. My chest tightened, but I didn't bite. No texts, no calls, not even watching the full story. He wanted a reaction. I refused to give it. "You, Cam." My stomach flipped. Was this nostalgia, manipulation, or just a show for his audience? The comments rolled in immediately. Couple goals: don't give up, you two were perfect, fix it. Her loss if she doesn't come back. I didn't like it. I didn't reply. I didn't remove the tag. I let the post sit like a billboard for his hypocrisy. Inside, something finally broke. He had demanded no contact. He'd moved out. He was already reconnecting with Chloe. Yet he still wanted me to be his prop, his safety net, a symbol of loyalty while he tested other waters. Not anymore. That weekend, my company hosted an awards dinner. I went alone, wearing a black dress that hugged me in ways I hadn't felt in months. My coworker Jade, stunning, sharp-tongued, and always ready with a laugh, sat beside me. We spent the evening trading jokes, sipping champagne, and clinking glasses when our team's project was recognized. Someone caught a candid photo of me mid-laugh, Jade smiling beside me. Totally platonic, but taken out of context, it looked intimate. The next morning, I changed my profile picture and captioned it, "Great night with even better company." I didn't tag Jade. I didn't need to. The picture spoke for itself. The reaction was almost instant. 47 minutes later, my phone exploded. 17 missed calls, 23 texts. "Thomas, who is she?" "Thomas, you moved on already?" "It's been a week, Camilla." "Thomas, you're doing this to hurt me." "Thomas, answer your phone. This is manipulation." "Thomas, we're on a break, not broken up." I sat at my kitchen table, coffee cooling beside me, watching the messages with a detached sort of amusement. Finally, I typed one reply. "I thought we agreed on no contact for a month. Please respect this boundary." The exact wording he'd thrown at me. The calls shifted tone, from indignant to pathetic. "Seriously, Camilla, you're throwing my words back at me. Real mature. That better not be a date. We're still together. You can't disrespect me like this. I'm coming over. We need to talk." By 11 p.m., pounding rattled at my door. "Camilla, open up. I know you're home." His voice thundered. I stood, phone in hand, and recorded quietly as proof. No contact means no contact. From the other side of the door he spat, "Don't be petty." "Who is she?" I called back through the wood, voice steady though it trembled. "Respecting your boundary isn't petty. It's what you asked for." Neighbors shouted for him to leave before anyone called the police. Eventually the pounding stopped and the hallway went quiet. But Thomas didn't stop. By week 2, his social media had become a circus. Shirtless gym selfies captioned, "Feeling myself," clips of workouts set to dramatic music. Then Chloe again, a coffee shop snap with his arms slung too casually over her chair, captioned, "Some things never change." I scrolled past without engagement. He wanted a reaction. I refused to give it. Fake accounts began to appear, watching my stories as if to taunt me. I'd block one and another would pop up the next day. The desperation leaked through the screen. He couldn't handle silence. He couldn't handle me refusing to play along. And yet, watching him unravel gave me a strange, fierce sense of power. For years he'd set the tempo in our relationship. Closeness when he wanted it, distance when he did, my life on his command. Now he was the one unmoored. I was calm. He was chaos. By day 10, his mask slipped in public. Mutual friends sent screenshots of his covert posts and subtweets. "Some people don't know how good they had it. She'll regret this. Funny how people show their colors." One friend messaged, "Camila, he sounds obsessed. Be careful." I thanked her, but inside, I already knew what that obsession meant. Once exposed, obsession's only path is destruction. Every night brought fresh voicemails swinging wildly between venom and pleading. "Cold, heartless Camila, how could you throw this away for some coworker you barely know?" The next would collapse into, "Baby, please. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I need you. Come back." Each message sounded like a different mask, each one trying to coax me back into orbit. I didn't move. On day 12, the theatrics moved from my phone to my doorstep. I was curled on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, when the pounding started again, harder, more insistent. "Camila, open the door. We need to talk." His voice shook the wood. My stomach clenched, but I stayed where I was. I called through the door, forcing steel into my voice. "You said 30 days, Thomas. Respect your own boundary. This isn't a game." Silence stretched, then his voice softened, pleading, "Don't do this, Camila. Don't make me beg out here." A neighbor's door cracked open, and a sharp voice cut through the tension. "Leave before I call the cops." The pounding stopped. His shadow retreated. Footsteps faded down the hall. I sank deeper into the couch, blanket to my chin, heart hammering. For the first time, I admitted it to myself. This had become obsession, and obsession could turn dangerous. The next morning, Instagram held his latest stunt. A video of Thomas shirtless in the bathroom mirror, jaw clenched and chest heaving, captioned, "Toxic women don't appreciate loyalty, but real ones know." Comments filled with performative sympathy. "Stay strong, King, her loss. Someone better will come." I almost laughed at the theater of it, but anger churned under the surface, because those people didn't see what I did. Thomas wasn't loyal, not to me, not to anyone. The subtexts continued, cryptic posts, biting captions. Funny how some demand honesty, then betray first. Breaks aren't for moving on, they're for reflection. But his posts were just darts aimed in my direction without naming me. Mutual friends raised eyebrows and messaged, "Is this about you? What's happening with Thomas? He seems unstable." I replied once. He asked for no contact. I'm giving it to him. On day 14, he escalated to public humiliation. I was buried in spreadsheets at work when reception buzzed me. "Camila, your boyfriend's here." He brought lunch. My stomach dropped. I hurried down, heels clicking, palms sweating. There he was in the lobby, clutching a takeout bag, grinning like nothing had happened. "Surprise," he said, voice bright, offering the bag. "Your favorite." "You need to leave," I said, my voice cold as marble. "I can't accept lunch from someone who showed up at my workplace uninvited." His smile flickered as the receptionist watched. "We're not together," I added. "You're breaking your own no-contact rule." His face fell, then hardened. "Camilla, stop. Don't embarrass me in front of your coworkers," he begged. At that moment, Jade walked by. She slowed, glanced between us, and arched an eyebrow. "Oh, this must be the ex finding himself," she said dryly. Thomas flushed red. "So you are seeing her?" Jade answered with blunt professionalism. "This is professional, unlike showing up at someone's workplace uninvited." The receptionist called building security. Within minutes, they arrived and escorted Thomas out, amid his shouted proclamations about love and betrayal. He made a scene until they pushed him through the doors. The silence that followed felt suffocating. Jade smirked. "Well, that was dramatic." I managed a weak smile while shame and fury warred in my chest. He wanted a spectacle. He got one. That night, the calls resumed. "You humiliated me, Camilla, in front of everyone. That's on you. Don't you get it? I did that because I love you. I won't stop until you hear me out." I turned my phone face down and poured a glass of wine. His words no longer cut the way they used to. Instead, they read clear as glass, the cracks in the armor of a man who couldn't stand losing control. By the end of week 2, Thomas wasn't just unraveling. He was doing it publicly, leaving threads for everyone to see. Fake accounts stalking my stories, bitter subtweets, voicemails that swung like a pendulum from rage to pleading. From fury to desperation, Thomas paraded around my workplace like some love-struck fool. His facade was cracking, and underneath, the real Thomas finally stood exposed for everyone to see. By week 3, his attempt to control the narrative had reached its peak, only to spectacularly backfire. It started with a TikTok, a shaky camera, dramatic background music, his face half hidden in shadow. The caption read, "Toxic exes will weaponize your boundaries against you." Within hours, the video had over 50,000 views, but instead of support, the comments turned savage. "Wait, you asked for no contact, and now you're mad she respected it?" "The math isn't mathing. Pretty sure you're the toxic one here." By nightfall, he deleted the post. Too late. Screenshots spread through group chats like wildfire. Doubt seeped in where loyalty used to be. Meanwhile, his fling with Chloe imploded exactly as expected. Marissa, a mutual friend who'd once hosted Chloe, sent me a late-night text. "Camilla, you'll want to hear this." Turns out, Chloe had been excited at first, but Thomas couldn't stop talking about me. He showed her my profile picture with Jade, complained nonstop about how quickly I'd moved on, even begged her to post couple shots just to make me jealous. After 2 weeks of his fixation, she'd had enough. She called him out, said he was obsessed with his ex, too much drama, and walked away. Marissa even sent me screenshots of Chloe venting in their group chat. "He's still in love with Camila. I was just a prop. Never again." I read the words 3 times, a strange cocktail of vindication and disgust swirling in my chest. So this was his grand strategy? Take a break to find himself, only to rebound with a high school flame as leverage against me? Even she saw through it, but Thomas wasn't finished humiliating himself. On day 20, he posted an old photo of us at the beach. Caption, "Sometimes you don't know what you have until it's gone." Missing my person. I untagged myself within minutes. That tiny act detonated him. 37 calls in one night, dozens of texts, voicemails ricocheting from sobbing apologies to threats. "You untagged yourself. That's so disrespectful. We're still together, Camilla. This is emotional abuse." I'll forgive you for Jade if you just take me back. You're going to regret this. I'm the best thing that ever happened to you. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, letting his voice echo in my inbox. Once upon a time, I would have folded under the weight of his storm. Now I felt oddly detached, almost entertained by the absurdity. The louder he screamed, the clearer his desperation became. Then came the flying monkeys. First his mother, Patricia, called, "Camila, honey, whatever's happening, you two can work it out. Don't throw away 3 years over one fight." I answered calmly, "Patricia, ask your son why he's been spending time with Chloe. Then call me back." Her silence told me everything. Next was his sister, Rachel. "He's hurting so badly. Can't you just talk to him?" "He asked for no contact," I replied. "I'm honoring it." "He isn't," she admitted, and then fell silent. Even mutual friends reached out, parroting his lines. "He's spiraling." "You owe him a conversation, but I didn't owe him a thing. He begged for space. I gave it. He filled it with lies, drama, and Chloe. That was on him. Still, the circus spun on. By day 22, Thomas showed up at Marissa's apartment, the place where Chloe used to hang out. Marissa later told me he stood outside yelling into the night, "Camila, I know you still love me. Stop hiding." She threatened to call the police before he finally stumbled away. She texted me after, "Girl, he's losing it. Be careful." I stared at the screen, pulse steady. For years I'd lived in fear of Thomas's outbursts, tiptoeing around his anger like it was a cage. But now I saw the truth. The cage had never been real. It was just his performance, and I was no longer part of the audience. That night, I poured a glass of wine, curled on the couch, and scrolled through the wreckage of his online persona. The TikTok backlash, Chloe's rejection, deleted posts, friends whispering, family unraveling. Thomas was collapsing in real time, and the whole world could see it. And me? For the first time in 3 years, I felt completely, utterly free. But by the 4th week, his unraveling had gone from pathetic to dangerous. I thought the worst was behind me after the TikTok debacle and Chloe's walkout. But then he crossed a line I never saw coming. It was a Tuesday afternoon, ordinary, dull, when reception buzzed my desk. "Camila, your boyfriend is here. He brought lunch." The pen slipped from my fingers. My blood turned cold. "I don't have a boyfriend." "Tell him to leave." There was a pause. Then the receptionist whispered, "He insists. Says you'll be thrilled." Every eye in the office burned into me as I walked downstairs. My heels clicked like gunshots across tile, echoing my fury. And there he was, Thomas, beaming like a salesman, clutching a paper bag of takeout. "Surprise! Your favorite?" My stomach twisted. "Thomas, what are you doing here?" "Bringing lunch for my girlfriend," he replied, voice too loud, eyes flicking toward the receptionist. "We're not together," I said flatly, "and you're breaking your own no-contact rule." His grin faltered. Jaw tightening. "Camila, stop. Don't embarrass me in front of your coworkers." "Embarrass you?" My laugh was sharp, bitter. "You embarrassed yourself the second you walked through those doors." And then, like fate twisting the knife, Jade walked past with a stack of folders. She slowed, arched a perfect brow, and smirked. "Oh," she said, her tone dripping with amusement. Thomas's face flushed red. "So you are seeing her," he snapped. Jade smirked without missing a beat. "For the record, this is professional, unlike showing up at someone's workplace uninvited." The receptionist lifted the phone. "Security." Thomas's voice cracked, pitching high. "Camila, don't do this." I love you. I've always loved you. You can't just throw us away. But it was already over. 2 security guards appeared, steady and unshakable. Sir, you need to leave, one ordered. Thomas's eyes darted between them and me, wild and pleading. Camilla, say something. Tell them we're together. I folded my arms, voice firm and even. We're not! The guards ushered him out as he ranted, his voice echoing through the lobby. You'll regret this, Camilla. You'll regret losing me. The doors shut behind him with a heavy thud. Silence swallowed the room. Then Jade, bone dry as ever, muttered, Well, that was theatrical. A ripple of laughter broke across the lobby. Even I released a shaky chuckle, adrenaline still buzzing in my veins. Humiliation had always been Thomas's greatest fear, and now he'd delivered it to himself on a silver platter. That evening, my phone lit up with voicemails.